very kind, be very nice. This is his first time, and give a very nice warm round of applause to welcome Rob!
How's it going, everybody? So I've been doing comedy for about 2 seconds now. I won't be able to say that ever again. And I just know I'm going to tell myself that if you don't laugh at any of the jokes, it's probably because you don't understand my accent. A little safety net for me there. So I wanted to start out saying something that Ali actually said in her monologue. Is this a monologue? I don't know. But do you ever just get fed up of dating and Bumble and Tinder and all these things? That happened to me recently. I was just like, I'm deleting them, I'm staying single, it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be fine. And then I got a text and it was like, hey Ross, do you wanna go for drinks later? And it was from someone actually good. And I was like, definitely yes. And then you realise dating isn't the problem, it's dating shitty people. That's the problem, right? Like I asked a girl out recently for dinner, and our plan was we're going to town and we'd walk around, we'd find somewhere nice to eat. So after 90 minutes of walking around, she goes, actually, I'm not hungry. She's American, by the way. So we had to stand on the side of the street, and I had to try and make conversation while eating a doner kebab. And she stood there looking at me with sauce in my beard and food in my teeth and bits of cabbage falling on the ground. You know. It's not a good look for a dude. But it was her fault, you know. I wanted to go into a restaurant. I can't go into a restaurant with just one person. You know. Anyway, so someone asked me recently, do I like dogs? And I was like, oh, which dog? Because like dogs have personalities, right? Like I loved the dog on my uncle's farm growing up. He was awesome. The little shitty dog that barks night and day in the flat next to mine. I don't like that dog. You know, you can't generalize, right? It's like people. It's like, well, Keanu Reeves is pretty chill. My our mothers are pretty cool, right? But Hitler sucked. All these people, you know. I love sitting down there watching the show. Anyone who does anything with their hands, like I'm doing now, it's like, look how relaxed I am. So it's like, okay, don't do anything with your hand, like people lists and all. I just fucking picked up the beer. I broke my only rule. So what was I going to say? About the dogs, yeah. Oh yeah, so my ex was German. And Irish people, I'm Irish, but we're very curious, we're very kind of, did you just confirm that to each other? So like, when Irish people get to know their first German, they're kind of fascinated, because we live in a little island back in the day, we didn't really get foreign people. So coming to Europe and meeting all that. So my ex was German, and when she started dating me, she started to get into pop culture, because the German-speaking people don't really know much about the greater world, I've noticed. So anyway, no, they know things like politics, but they don't know like Keanu Reeves, all the good stuff. You know? So she was quite upset to learn how often Hitler is referenced in pop culture, like movies and shows and comedy and all. And she was even more upset that every time he'd come up, I'd be like, there's your guy. So I loved my ex, she was great, but she was terrible at following movie plots. You know, lads, when you're watching a movie with a girl, you think, what's going on there? But she took it to the next level, right? So we were watching a movie once, halfway through, the main guy went undercover. And he came on the screen, she was like, who's that? I was like, I think he went a bit too undercover, like. we're supposed to know who he is, you know? So I'm a white male millennial, like you might be able to tell. And I like Batman. And there's no joke there, I just wanted to let you know. But it's funny, the guy from the first half, he's also a white male millennial, and he referenced Batman too, and I was like, man. I don't know if he's gone home, but I'm like pointing to him. He's like, you know who I mean, the guy. But so it's weird being a millennial, because when you're a kid in the 90s, the world isn't woke yet. And then in the 90s, you're a teenager, and the world still isn't woke. And as soon as you become a man, it's like, you destroyed the world down with the patriarchy. And I'm like, I swear to God, I just got here. I don't really know what's going on. You got me keeping their head down. So, no, about Batman, right? So you were the couple, right? You can only see the back of your head, so he's looking a lot different than I thought. I don't even know what I mean by that. I'm just a bit nervous. Well, let me ask you this. If you came out of work one day and he was sitting on a fence in a Batman costume, and you could see him and you could hear him and he was like, Lauren, would you know it's him? You think you'd know it's him and you'd be like, who is this stranger?
Yeah.
You would, right? But in Batman Begins, Rachel and Batman are like, they're in love, and they know each other all their lives, and they were chatting earlier that day. Batman's sitting on a little fence, and he's like, Rachel. And she's like, who is this guy? You know, I was just like, you know. My last thought was like, having moved to Switzerland, and like, I'm Irish moved to Switzerland, and I was like, it's good Batman's American, because when he talks, he's like, where were the other drugs going? Like, it's kind of cool, it's kind of badass. But I was like, imagine Batman was Swiss. Swiss millionaire Bruce Wiedmer or whatever. I just made that up right now. And he comes, he's like, wo sind die andere Droge hergekommen? Alright, thanks very much.